What's up, boys and girls? Empire Steve back with you yet again. Today is Wednesday. It is the 4th of August, and I wanted to go over my trades with you all again. Sorry you might hear my dog in the background. She's chilling on the floor behind me. So here is QQQ today, and as you can see, we had a little bit of bearish momentum in pre-market. But sometimes the bearish momentum in pre-market could mean a little bull flag as soon as that bell rings. So that's the Qs. Here's SPY looking a little bit more bearish as the day is going on, And then here's Dow. I don't really watch a lot of Dow stocks, so I don't typically care what Dow is doing. But you can see it's also selling off. As you can see, everything's a little bit red, but the Qs, which would be NASDAQ, or NASDAQ stocks, is looking pretty good, and it's mostly looking good because of Moderna, which you can see looked just like NASDAQ pre-market, and I was watching Moderna. I'm so sad I didn't play it. I was thinking about these $400 strike calls this morning when it was around 377 down in this zone. When I was chicken to pull the trigger, and I just didn't have too much faith. I know they got earnings either today or tomorrow, but anyway, I didn't watch that. I was watching Zoom. Where does Zoom go? It's right here, and this is the one I'm actually probably more sad about for not playing it. I was watching Zoom, and I was going to play the 380 calls, which they're around like 900 and something bucks now, because I could see in pre-market, and I was telling one of my buddies I was talking to in voice, and you can see it was bouncing off the 200 moving average, and also all of the 50 moving average, and it was looking good in pre-market. I know there's not a lot of volume in pre-market, but if it's moving up, that's always some kind of sign that it could be a bullish stock today. We saw that yesterday in a few stocks, but again, I did not pull the trigger on Zoom either. And as you can see, let me go find AMD. AMD, I think, is the real big catalyst as to why the NASDAQ is up so big. And you can see it very much like Zoom, but it actually had volume. These candles are filled a little bit better, and it just overall looks a little bit more bullish. But you can see it is up huge. It was 112 in pre-market, a low 112, 113, and look at her now. So I'll go over that first trade I made with on AMD. AMD is the first thing I played this morning. And per what you typically hear from me, if you watched a lot of my videos recently, I don't look for grand slams. I don't look for home runs. I wish I did, because I would have made a killing yesterday off of Amazon. I probably would have made a killing off AMD, but that's neither here nor there. But today I grabbed AMD 120 calls, and I got into them at 936. So that would be this candle right here. So right here, no, this candle. So you can see that this is on the 1 minute chart, and the green line again is the 9 EMA, and then the red line would be the 21 EMA, and then this yellow line is VWAP, right? So you can see at 9:35, so it's looking bullish. It's closing above. Let me go and zoom in a little bit better for you. AMD is closing. Closing would be it closes at the top here. If the candle's green, this would be where it closes. Okay, close there, close here, and on the red candles, where it closes would be on the bottom of the candle, not the wick of the candle. So I could see that it did come down and it tested the 9 EMA basically every time, but it still closed higher, right? So as long as it stays above the 9 EMA, for me that's a bullish sign. So that's where I would get in. So I got one at 936, and my average was $204, which would be 204. And then I sold it 2 minutes later at 938. So that would be this candle here. There's one contract, and I sold it at $234. So that net me $30 of profit for that one contract. So my very first play was a win, and it was a small win. It's $30. But let's go see what that 120 call is worth now. And as you can see, it is worth $325 per contract. So yes, I could have made more. Could I have bought more? 100%. But I'm gonna explain to you guys why I did not buy more. Actually, there's really no reason. I haven't been buying a significant amount of contracts, especially on AMD. And the reason why I'm not too super bullish on AMD is because of this free float, 1.21. I did not billion. I did not think that AMD had it to keep going and actually hit 120. But boy, was I wrong. It actually did. So, but even still, like, you see how AMD, like, now these 120s are at 400. I sold them at 234, right? So they're basically like $170 more per contract. But like playing something, they're up huge. Even these are up huge. The out of the money ones are all up huge, like all the way down to 140. And the reason for that, the reason for that is because it's such a bullish stock and it's just straight going up. It doesn't matter what strike you pick when something is this bullish, right? So some of these are up, like this $138 one, which is it's $18 away, but it's up huge, 2,000%. That's from I assume if you bought it yesterday morning, right? Or yesterday, not morning, but on a dip yesterday or just before the bell rang to close the day or whatever. So those are up gigantic. So anyway, I still made a decent amount of money. So the next thing that I played was Amazon, and this one was almost a risky one to play. So it was following the Qs to a T. It was a little interesting. So anyway, I bought the 3450 calls. So these right here. And you can see, and I'm going to explain to you why I got the 3450 calls, and here is exactly why. So here's the volume tab for the option contracts, and that's the open interest. And I saw that, and all of them are very similar. But I knew, because there was so much volume on these 3450 calls and a decent amount of open interest. Typically what you want to see is volume higher than the open interest, and that would be unusual options volume. Sorry, right here. And that means these are more liquid, right? So I knew that there was a lot of activity going on. There's a lot of buying and selling on these contracts. So I knew that they would move as long as I was correct with the direction that I chose. So, and that would be calls. So obviously, so the first one I got into, let me go back to the chart, was at, I got the first 3450 call was at 956. So that would be right here. And I thought potentially, this wick right here is what is the reason why I bought it, and it looked like it was going to be good. Like maybe it was potentially gonna test the 9 EMA and continue up, and it did not. So I bought in at $4.70, which is equal to $470, and boom, I was down, right? So it tested the 9 EMA and failed. I should have got out. However, I could see that on my Thinkorswim, not Thinkorswim, on my TradingView. I have TradingView on my other monitor, and I can see 4 different tickers. I'm always watching QQQ, and I was watching Tesla, I was watching Moderna, and I was watching Amazon. But I could see that Amazon was following the Qs, and I'll go back to the Qs at 956. So here's 955, and the Qs are moving up. At that time, Amazon was not following. So if Amazon was following the Qs, it would have kept going higher. Would have tested VWAP or something like that, and I would have 100% gotten out. and just taking my profit. So I was testing the waters, and I was like, okay, let's see if Amazon finds a bottom somewhere. So I gave myself, if it goes below 33.50, I was just going to cut it and just take my loss, similar to yesterday. So I picked a price, and it did go out, and then I was like, So at that time I was watching Tesla, and it looked good. I was watching Moderna, which it's on the NASDAQ. It was looking good. I was looking at AMD. AMD was super bullish. I was like, there's no way that Amazon doesn't recover. So I was like, screw it. So I averaged down. I bought one more 34.50 call at 10.05. So that would be right. Sorry. I'm really bad. So I bought another one here at 10.05. And I got this one at $3.40, which is $340. That brought my average to, for both of them, I had two at that time, at 4.05, which would be my average. What total cost in the position was $810. So, and I ended up selling. I got lucky, and I really did get lucky. So I didn't alert it anywhere, so I wasn't like boosting the IV or anything like that. I was just kind of just hanging out and just kind of waiting for it to recover. It did not want to go below 33.50. It kind of touched 33.48.95, but it was brief, right? So it didn't really like fall like too much below 34.50. But then you can see right around in this area, as soon as it started testing the 9 EMA, I think at one point I was down like $150 on between the two of them, and that was fine. I was not down below 30%, so I did not cut my losses because I was not below 100 or 30% loss. So anyway, like I said, I got lucky, and I ended up selling this at 10.29, and 10.29 would have been right here, because there's this like doji candle. And it, and then I was happy that I got out of it. This was looking good. And this started to look pretty bad. Like when you see a doji like that, it could go either way. And I didn't want to chance it, so I said, screw it. I'm getting out. And I sold both of them at $4.80, which would be $480, and that was a total profit of $150 for both of those contracts combined. So today I ended up with a $170 profit between the single AMD call and the lucky Amazon contract. So I do not recommend doing what I did. I did get lucky, and it's just not what I recommend. What I should have done is, and you can see Amazon's not looking very good now. Like the overall market, like these are the ETFs of the futures, and it's Google, and they're not looking that good. Snow, Square, GameStop's down, Apple's down, Roku's down. But I should have stuck with my plan and played Zoom, because Zoom was what I was really watching in pre-market, and I should have played Zoom. I should not have tested this luck with Amazon. I was looking at possibly playing Amazon right out of the gate. Not right out of the gate, but I knew that if it got above 33.80, that it could be bullish. So it got above 33.80 right around here, and I'll tell you why 33.80. So let me go to the 3-minute. So yesterday it tried to test 33.82 here, right here, at whatever time this is. It's really laggy now, 2:20, and it failed, right? So I knew that if it broke above 33.80, 33.82, that it possibly could see some more upside, and it did. It did it right before the market, right when the market opened. It got above 33.80, came back down, and then it tested it again, like every minute. Like it seemed like it tested it. So right here at 9:34, but I didn't do it. I didn't get in it. I ended up saying, screw it, let me go to AMD. That looks a little bit safer, and the AMD was a little bit cheaper. But I do not recommend, like I said, playing that Amazon and trying. That is a gamble. Like, I was honestly gambling with my money. I did get lucky and I ended up profiting, but again, don't do that. Like, that was super brave. So that's pretty much it for me for the day. So I traded those 3 contracts, and yeah, I got lucky. Let's see, tomorrow, Thursdays and Fridays are more so lotto days when you're playing weekly options. So I will be looking to maybe buying more contracts on Thursday and Friday, because they are typically cheaper. And if you're right about the direction, and I'll be buying closer to at the money. I won't be going super far out of the money on Thursdays and Fridays, because it is a little bit more risky. And then if they come down, if they drop, the IV drops, and there goes your premium on those contracts. So yeah. So like always, if you have anything you want me to talk about in another video, if you have any questions or anything like that, just leave a comment down below, and don't forget to wait. Where is it at? I'm trying to find it. Oh wait, I blocked it. I'm an idiot. Like, subscribe, and yeah, turn on the notifications. So anyways, I hope you guys and girls have a good Wednesday and the rest of your week, and maybe I'll hopefully be able to make a video, recap video for you all tomorrow. Anyway, take care.